I just had to fill out a bunch of these doctor's forms for a new doctor that I'm going to tomorrow. And I'm just wondering, how is this the 21st century, the year 2018, when we still have to write our name over and over and over again on each piece of paper? You have to sign each one the same exact thing. You have to fill out the same information on all these pieces of paper. And it's like, if they wanted a better way, they could have it. It just feels like they want it to be inconvenient. Like they want the process to be ancient, outdated, obsolete, archaic. I mean, I had to write the same thing over, and it's so, what I do is I get really crafty with it. I get really clever with it. Like, when it made me rank each range of pain on all of these parts of my body that I don't feel any pain on. But now most people, they would just write a 0 for each one. Not me. I put an arrow. 0 all the way down. You know what I mean. 0, arrow, all the way down. And then whenever I can, I use ditto marks too. That's the quote marks. So if there's something below it that's the same as above, you don't have to write that twice. You can just put dit, 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 and then it's like, it's right up there, bitch. It's right up there. I don't have to write it again. You know where it is. It's right there. Now, most people don't do this stuff. Most people, they would just fill out every single individual 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. I was ranking them on 1 to 10, so I had to put 0. They would just do each single one, and they would write the same shit over and over again like a slave. Not me. I get crafty with it. It's the only smart people do that. I'm sorry, but if they read that, if I was working at like filing paperwork and I guarantee 99% of people don't do the ditto marks. They don't do the arrows. 99% of people just do what they're told. And if I saw one person who like figured out all these ways to avoid writing much, like the ditto marks and the arrows and stuff like that, and then I would be like, wow, that person's smart. Like, I want to get a beer with that person. And then the other thing is, I just don't fill out some stuff that I don't want to fill out. Like my employer, my occupation, my employer's address. I don't feel like telling them that. So I just left it blank. What are they going to do? I mean, all of this stuff, because none of this shit applies to me. So I just left it all blank. It's like, what are they going to do? And I realized this is probably how most people look at text messages from people. They, like, if they don't feel like responding to it, I bet they look at it the same way as a category on a patient information doctor's paperwork, that I look at that. Like, I just look at it. It's like, if I don't feel like filling that out, it doesn't exist. And I think most people look at text messages that way. If they don't feel like responding, they just leave it blank, just like I did here. And I don't. See, the thing is, I don't look at text messages that way. I look at text the way most people probably look at these patient forms. I look at text like I have an obligation to respond. Otherwise, that is like breaking some kind of social contract. I'm like rude, and I feel fucked up if I don't respond. And I think that's probably how most people feel about doctor-patient forms, but I don't. I say fuck the authority. I say fuck the system. But when a text comes in, I'm like, oh, I have to respond. I'm like, I have to respond to that. Otherwise, I feel bad. And not only do I have to respond soon. I should start looking at text the way most people look at doctors' patient forms. It's like, if I don't feel like filling out a category, but I don't.